Imagine you're walking down the street, rushing between meetings, when suddenly you hear the faint, trembling voice of a child crying out, "Mom, my hand hurts and itches." Her words pierce through the noise of the busy road. Most people pass by without noticing, but one man stops, someone you'd never expect. A man whose life had been built on money, deals, and success suddenly finds himself standing still, heart pounding, as he looks at a fragile little girl clutching her swollen hand. What happened next would not only change the girl's life, but would also shatter and rebuild the millionaire's heart forever. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear isn't just a story of pain. It's a story of compassion, second chances, and the kind of humanity we often forget still exists in this world. It was a scorching summer afternoon. The city streets were buzzing with honking cars, rushing commuters, and people glued to their phones. Among the chaos, little Emily, barely 7 years old, sat on the corner steps of a crumbling apartment block. Her mother, Sarah, held her tightly, her face lined with worry. Emily's small hand was swollen, red, and covered in angry rashes. She winced, scratching desperately, tears rolling down her cheeks. "Mom, it hurts, it itches so bad," Emily whimpered, her voice cracking. Sarah's heart ached. She was a single mother working 2 jobs, barely able to pay rent. They had no health insurance, and every clinic visit meant money they didn't have. She tried soothing her daughter with cold water, whispering promises that everything would be okay, but deep down she didn't know how to make it okay. At that moment, a sleek black car stopped near the curb. Out stepped a man in a tailored suit, his polished shoes clicking against the pavement. His name was Richard Lawson, a millionaire known across the city for his booming businesses and ruthless success. To most, he was untouchable, the kind of man who lived in penthouses far above the struggles of ordinary people. But that day, something made him pause. Perhaps it was the raw desperation in Emily's cry, or the sight of Sarah clutching her daughter as though shielding her from the whole world. He froze. For the first time in years, Richard felt his heart tug in a way he didn't understand. Memories of his own childhood, long buried, stirred inside him, memories of nights when he too had cried with no one there to help. "Please don't scratch it, sweetheart," Sarah whispered to Emily. "I know it hurts, I know." Emily's cries grew louder, trembling, cutting through the city noise. And then, before he could stop himself, Richard rushed forward. "Stop!" he shouted, his voice booming with urgency. Both Sarah and Emily flinched, staring at him wide-eyed. "Don't touch it, that infection could spread, she needs help now." For a moment, silence hung in the air. Sarah looked at the stranger in confusion, fear, and suspicion. Who was this man, and why was he interfering? But Richard's face wasn't cold or detached like the headlines often painted him. It was filled with something Sarah hadn't expected: genuine concern. I can't afford a doctor," Sarah stammered, holding Emily's swollen hand protectively. "We'll be fine, we'll manage." Richard crouched down, lowering himself to Emily's eye level. His expensive suit no longer mattered, his voice softened. "Sweetheart, I know it hurts, but you're strong, aren't you? Can I help you get better?" Emily sniffled, nodding weakly, clinging to her mother. Sarah hesitated, torn between pride and desperation. She had been abandoned too many times, by friends, by Emily's father, even by the system meant to protect them. Letting a stranger take control felt terrifying. But when she looked into Emily's eyes, swollen with pain, she knew she couldn't let fear stand in the way of her daughter's health. Reluctantly, she nodded. Within minutes, Richard had his driver rush them to the nearest private hospital. Doctors quickly diagnosed Emily with a severe allergic reaction that could have turned life-threatening if untreated. She was given medication, her tiny body finally finding relief. Sarah's shoulders sagged as the fear lifted, replaced by tears of gratitude. But the story didn't end there. As Richard stood in the hospital corridor, watching Sarah comfort Emily, something inside him shifted. For years, his life had revolved around wealth, deals, and power. Yet here, in this fragile moment, he realized that all the money in the world meant nothing if it couldn't save a little girl from suffering. When Sarah approached to thank him, her voice trembling, Richard surprised her with words she never expected. "No mother should have to choose between feeding her child and keeping her healthy. I can't walk away now. Let me help you, both of you, not just today, but for the future." Tears streamed down Sarah's face. Emily smiled faintly, whispering, "Mom, he's like a hero." And in that instant, Richard knew he had found something greater than wealth. He had found purpose. This story isn't just about a millionaire saving a little girl. It's about the power of compassion in a world where too many people walk past others in pain. Sometimes, one act of kindness can heal not just a wound but a lifetime of brokenness. So if you've stayed with me until now, ask yourself, who can I stop for today? Because you never know, the life you save may change yours forever.